You know what's crazy to think about is just like how much fucking potential we have as human beings. Like, it's so easy to get lost in your own head and like to talk about dreams and talk about goals, talk about like what you want in this life, what you want out of this life. And then, you sit down to actually like try and do it. And you're like, where the fuck do I start? Like, where do I even begin? And I think I felt like that for a long time, especially with YouTube, making videos, just pipe dreams I had, like if I wanted to make a movie one day, or hell, if I wanted to like be in an Iron Man, or like do some sort of like crazy feat, like just sitting down to actually force yourself to do that is just, in the abstract, it seems so simple and easy, but as soon as you like attempt to do something like that, it's like every cell in your body is just rejecting it for some reason. And it's not like it's your fault. Like, there's so many distractions in the world. There's so many reasons to not pursue your dreams, especially in the digital age where, I mean, like, you can go down a rabbit hole to try and figure out, how to do these things and the steps you need to take to actually accomplish this. But as soon as you start doing that, you know, frickin' some funny video game compilation pops up, or some other TikTok trend or YouTube rabbit hole comes out. I mean, your mind just loves to stay busy with thoughts, stay busy with problems. And it's not just the distractions on your phone, it's the distractions in life too. You can really just like feel so overwhelmed just in your own head about just the simple things you have to do in the day, like going to get the groceries, going to the gym, eating, just doing errands. And that can be an excuse to not follow your dreams or follow your passions. Like, you can literally use like your work, your job, errands, and taking care of the people around you in your life as an excuse to never be fulfilled in life, to never like go for your dreams or accomplish your dreams. And isn't that crazy? Like, there are people out there who will never do what they want to do or feel accomplished because, one, they're not realizing that they even have that ability, which everyone does. Two, they're getting distracted, obviously. And then three, their solutions, whenever they do like come into this like nirvana like realization that they do have potential and they don't have to sit on their ass and be miserable all day, they just go towards drugs and alcohol and all the other manufactured just horrible ways of destroying yourself and numbing the pain of reality. And that's really all that is just methods of numbing the pain and not accepting what reality really is. And I mean, I've come to the realization that this world, our life, every person's life is just so full of pure potential. And all you have to do is like find a way to harness that energy every day. You just have to find a way to harness your potential every single day. And that is how you accomplish your dreams. this is like, this is how the most successful people accomplish their dreams. They're able to stay focused every day, and they're able to accomplish like the things that are meaningful to them, because they find methods, they find systems, not to numb reality, but to accept it and use it to propel themselves, right? They use it to propel themselves, and there's nothing that can stop them, because like the normal mundane things, they don't use that as an excuse to stop. They don't use that as an excuse to be lazy or to do nothing. It doesn't even affect them, because that's not their goal. That's not the purpose of their life. Their purpose is not to run errands and to go to work and make money and to like just go to the gym and work out. Like, this is not their purpose in life. They found something that gives them meaning and value. And on top of that, they found a system to make that happen. All right? And these systems they make, they can't just be like, take a shot every day, take 2 shots every day to numb the pain, and then like go throughout the day just happy or whatever, and like use that to try and be creative or make life easier. Obviously that's just that's a downward spiral. That's not going to lead to anywhere. What they should be doing like is using these systems. And I mean, honestly, like the systems I'm talking about, like they're obviously like spiritual based, right? Like there's basically like two ways to accomplish your goals, right? You either use drugs to numb the pain of reality, to get on with your day, and then hopefully you somehow find the energy or creativity or creative outlet or support to even attempt to like do something you love on drugs, which it's possible, because you see so many artists use that for inspiration and like creative outlet, psychedelics, cocaine, alcohol, weed, all that stuff. And you see so many examples of people, you know, of how it ruins their lives, and people who have died from drug overdoses. So many famous artists, Mac Miller, Kurt Cobain, so many. Or you go a spiritual route, which surprisingly, compared to drugs, feels a lot more alienating. And I mean, like, so many people do it, right? Like, so many people throughout the world, like, follow a religion. They follow a spiritual practice. But for some reason, like, in the mainstream media, or not the mainstream media, but, like, our perception of what a successful and focused person is, like, you don't really see a spiritual practice like really advertised in that sort of persona. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about like the straight businessman, Wall Street guy who has optimized like every part of his life, and like every second of his day isn't wasted. Like, you don't really see him as being like a Christian, like a conservative Christian man, or like a Buddhist, or a yogi, or anything like that. Like, it doesn't feel weird. Like, yeah, I could see him doing cocaine in the bathroom on a weekend party, um, just to get them through like the rest of the week, like just buzzed up on Zins, you know, like that feels like a stereotype that I can get behind, which makes sense in this, like today, like in this day and age. But like, I don't see the Buddhist who is also like working at one of the top companies and is making like 6 or 7 figures a year and is just successful in every aspect of his life. I don't see that portrayed in the mainstream media. I don't see that portrayed in pop culture or movies nowadays, or talked about, or anything like that. It feels weird. And it felt weird for me, especially before I started following a spiritual practice, which I do now, which I feel like has helped me immensely with my focus and my drive and my motivation to become who I want. But before that, you know, before I had all that, you know, I would just look at like people my age. I would look at them and I would know, they would tell me that they're Christian, they're Catholic, they are spiritual in some way. And I would just get this weird feeling. I would be like, why do you need, like, especially in this like super liberal, like very accepting and modern day that we live in today, like of all the things you can do, like you can literally do anything. Like sex has never been more open and accepting than it has been today. Drugs, weed, alcohol, all drugs have never been as like open and like normal as they have been today in the Western culture, at least. And sexuality and political beliefs and contributions to society, what you do for work, what your dreams are, all these things I feel like have never been so accepting, so free and open and accepting as they have been today. And yet a couple years ago, if someone would have told me that they were like Christian and they were like my age, like 18, 19, I'm like, why do you need that? That's so weird. It feels like you're wasting your life, like devoting yourself to this. It just, I felt like icky. I felt weird. And that's not that, I mean, that's obviously not cool. I probably was a little more closed off than I should have been. But it felt weird. And it felt weird because most of the people around me did not do that, right? Most of the people, most of my peers and my friends took on a very atheist, not atheist, I'm blanking on the word, where you don't know if you believe in God or not. Damn, there's a specific word for that. Yeah, they were in that category, right? Like they didn't understand the need for it. At the same time, we're drinking our hearts out. We're just partying. Every party, you drink as much as you can to have fun. And like, that's normal. That's what's normal, you know? Getting high as fuck. Drinking as much as you can at parties. Mushrooms, psychedelics. I haven't gone as far as psychedelics or mushrooms. That's what's normal. And I think that really needs to change. Like, people are missing out on the pure fucking potential of practicing a spiritual belief. having like a concrete belief system like that. And this is all from personal experience. Like I'm not gonna start dogging on people who aren't spiritual, who don't follow a religious practice. More power to you. Maybe I'll do that in another video. But yeah, I started doing that recently. Combination actually, Buddhist, Nichiren Buddhism, so chanting every day, with the Gohonzon, chanting every day, following that sort of belief system. At the same time, going deeper and practicing Kundalini yoga. And yeah, that takes a lot of time out of the day, yes. So at most, that takes like an hour per day, every day, of pure chanting, pure stretching. And you don't really have to stretch. That's like more of a warm-up for the yoga. The yoga is more breath work and chanting. So this is pure, like, at the end of the day, this is meditation. At the end of the day, I'm meditating every day. I'm meditating every day, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm feeling 100%, like, motivation-wise, inspiration-wise, creativity, focus, intellect, like all of it just feels so natural in that state after I've meditated throughout the day. Those things become natural. So just imagine that. Those things to me become natural after I meditate, right? That becomes my norm, the drive, the motivation, the creativity, when I do meditate. And this is very simple, by the way. Like, I'm just saying a couple words over and over for like 30 minutes. And there are other forms of meditation. I just chose these practices, right? And super simple, by the way. Just like zoning out, basically. You're zoning out for an hour every day. And you're just trying to like, you're feeling yourself. You're just shutting off your mind for an hour every day. Shutting off the thoughts and the distractions and everything that doesn't help you. And all those like things that felt like impossible to get to on the day-to-day basis before that, like just being able to start what I know I need to do to achieve my dreams, it feels like natural because it feels like I need to accomplish that to be myself, like to be my true self and to achieve like what I've been put on this earth to do. So going back to like the distractions that most people are focused on the day-to-day and are worried about, obviously like they're still there. You still have to do them, but like my mind doesn't really care about that anymore. My mind, like my stress levels and anxiety and fear to do those things, the mundane, the monotonous, the annoying, the chores, the eating, the driving, the working, the fitness. It doesn't bother me. It literally doesn't bother me, right? So, it's just crazy. It's crazy. And I just needed to put this out there because, like, I know that today is the start of the rest of my life. It's like today is when the universe starts making sense for me, and where I finally start to take action on everything I need to do to become who I always wanted to be. And a big part of that is those spiritual practices I've been doing, which has led to life becoming slightly easier. I think my circumstances, I'm very lucky in like the amount of time I have throughout the day and the life circumstances I've been given since I was born. I'm very lucky. But I know deep down in my heart that no matter who you are, no matter where you are, what part of the world, what you're dealing with, like, connecting to that higher power, connecting to yourself, any form of like grounding and like quieting of the mind and connecting to the divine, I feel like it's the key to everything you want. It's the key to the rest of your life, to a fulfilling life. And I'm excited to see what this next chapter will bring. And I hope I can impact as many people as possible with what I have planned. So yeah, let's just keep on going on. And let's see what happens. Well, have a good night, everyone.